And I'm going to touch on how our approach, the approach that we are going to be talking about today and tomorrow, differs from other consulting approaches. We have seen in most instances, consultants come to our organizations, they are given a nice boardroom, or they are taken to a hotel and they are asked to stay there, and they come up with a nice document with nice graphs and nice and interesting recommendations. They go through a very interesting process of research that is normally taught in graduate schools. But eventually, the interventions that come from those nice graphs and pie charts and tables and PowerPoint presentations fail to lead real and sustainable transformation in organizations. So we want to see, how does an OD approach to consulting differ from an approach that says, I am a graduate in strategy and innovation from Harare Institute of Technology. I am coming into your organization. I'm going to support you and give you the answers to your problem because I graduated with a strategy and innovation certificate. We see that in a lot of PhDs. When they graduate with these PhDs, they go into organizations with titles and they have all the answers and solutions. But eventually, we don't see significant shifts and transformation in the organizations. So on this conceptual framework or competency framework, I just want you to focus on these 6 elements: whole system thinking, co-creation of possibilities, emergent action learning, client centrism, generative dialogue, and data-driven interventions. As consultants, as strategy and innovation consultants or graduates, we need to ensure that the work that we do with any client, large or small, are informed by whole system thinking, co-creation of possibilities. It's not only the consultant who has the answers. We need emergent action learning as we go, as we interact with the client system. We need to focus on the client and not the consultant. In most of our consulting engagements, when we interact with clients, we take pictures that focus on Justin. And we go on social media and say, here I am, I was leading a workshop with Harare Institute of Technology, an amazing session. But did Harare Institute of Technology derive value? What stories do I have about the value created in Harare Institute of Technology? What transformation happened? Did I take people through an intellectual journey of seeing things differently and leading sustainable change? Generative dialogue, and Paul is going to talk about that after my presentation. How do we have conversations with our clients, conversations that matter, conversations that bring new insights? And we need data. How do we gather data? Should we just send surveys and conduct interviews like we are doing in academic pieces? In most organizations, that's what happens. We send nice surveys, nice interviews. We use a software to analyze data, nice PowerPoint presentations, nice graphs, but the organization does not feel that consultancy work. So I need you to focus on these 6 because we are going to be using these terms over and over again today and tomorrow. And this is the Global OD Competency Framework. I'm not going to speak into that. You can search it from the Organization Development Network. Our role as consultants fits into being a system change expert, efficient designer, business advisor, credible strategist, and informed consultant. And each of these roles has different points to it. And I'll pause as I throw a question, and I need 2 responses on the question that is at the bottom of the slide. What are some of the reasons for failure in most change or consulting initiatives? Why do we see most change and consulting initiatives failing? And I'll take one of my colleagues, then I'll go to the Harare Institute of Technology. Can I start with Mr. Paul Nyausaru? What comes to your mind, Mr. Paul?
Oh, yes, thank you, Doc.
Yes.
I think what normally happens is the consultants usually get into the client system with predetermined solutions. They've got models that they've read in books, and these are the ones that they want to pour upon the client system. And the client does not get any opportunity to be involved in co-creating the solutions that are necessary. So in most cases, it fails because once the consultant is gone, then there is no implementation of whatever solutions the consultant would have come up with.
Thank you. So according to Mr. Paul, consultants get into client systems with predetermined solutions, nice models, nice frameworks from graduate schools, and they want to impose those to the client systems. Liza, can you comment on that? Why is that approach flawed? What are the errors in that approach of going with predetermined solutions to organizations? Liza.
The errors of going with predetermined solutions to organizations, it's because organizations do really differ. What works in organization A cannot really work in organization B. So it is then important to integrate the theoretical aspect with the technical aspect, which matches with the specific organization that we'll be going to.
Thank you. Organizations differ, and the predetermined solutions or models or concepts that we have need to be customized to the different situations that organizations are facing. And because of our time, just process in your mind some of the reasons why change initiatives fail from a strategy and innovation perspective. And Liza there brings in an interesting point, a fundamental point for us to start designing our own interventions. Organizations differ. So if organizations differ, how do I approach the different organizations without imposing predetermined solutions to the client systems? I'd ask us to watch this video, and this is a comedy video, but we want to use this as a business case and see what lessons we can derive in organizations. And because of time, I'm not going to replay this video. I understand, Dr. Makuku, you watched this video. What did you pick from this video regarding consulting approaches? What went wrong and what could have been done differently?